Hello students, welcome to Immienglish.com, the one-stop solution for ESL examination and immigration services. This video is about the journal reading module and it's for the students who have never appeared in the IELTS exam before. Before we begin, if you're planning to give the IELTS academic exam, then you can skip this entire video and directly watch the academic reading module video. The link is also available in the description. So let's begin. First of all, let's look at the exam structure. For those who have seen the IELTS overview lecture know that this exam is different for the academic and general candidates. There are a total of 40 questions of 1 mark each and total time of the test is 60 minutes. Remember that there is no extra time to transfer the answers to the answer sheet like the listening exam. So you need to be fast in this exam and should have a proper time management. Lastly, there are a total of 3 sections and 5 passages in this exam, and each passage will have different set of questions. There is no predefined number of the questions per passage, it will vary in all the exams. Now let's try to understand everything in details. Let us look at some of the key points about the journal reading exam. Now in this exam there are 3 sections but 5 passages. The complexity of the passage will increase from section 1 to section 3. That means the first passage will be the easiest and the last will be the toughest. In addition to this, the length of the passage will also increase step by step. So you should have a good reading speed to attempt all the 40 questions in a time span of 1 hour along with writing down the answers in the answer sheet. The journal reading module is easy as compared to the academic module, but it is lengthy. So a journal candidates need to be faster to finish the reading exam in time. Now there is a difference in the marking criteria as well. The journal candidate will be marked strictly. That means you will need to have more correct answers to get the same marks as compared to an academic candidate. Now you might think it seems a little bit unfair, but the language of the academic candidate will be much tough and complex as compared to the general candidate. So it's fair for both. Now let's learn about the types of the questions that are asked in the exam. Now in the reading exam, the types of the question for both the academic and the general candidates will remain the same. You will learn in detail about all the important reading question types and how to solve them in dedicated videos. However, as of now, we will see the types of the question you can expect in the reading exam. The first and the most common type of the question would be MCQ or multiple choice questions. Over here, you will read the passage and choose the correct option. Sounds simple? Right. Yes, for the general candidate, it will be easy, so don't worry. Just to give you a better understanding, we have a sample of a question as well. You will need to read the passage and choose option from A, B, C and D. Now it is difficult to answer these questions without reading the passage, but it's just an example. You will understand better when you will be doing a little bit of practice. Now let's take a look at the next type of the question. The next other question that is usually asked in the exam is identifying information from the passage. In this type of question, you will be provided a piece of information and you have to identify that in which part of the passage the information is mentioned. That's all. It is simple and easy. Not everything is tough in the exam. Now let's see the example to get a better idea how this question looks like. Pause the video and read the sample with ease. Now this type of question is easy to identify and not extremely complex. Therefore such types of questions help you get more marks in the exam. Try not to make mistakes. Let's look at the next type. In the next type of the question, you need to identify a writer's claim or view. In this type of questions, the writer would put forward his views or claims from the passage and you have to identify if they match with the information provided in the passage or not. Usually this type of question is called yes, no and not given. If the claim completely agrees with the information in the passage, then you have to answer as yes. If not, then no. And if there is no information available in the passage about the claim of the writer, then you have to answer not given. Sounds simple? Not exactly. Because the language used in the claim will be complex, which you can see from the sample provided. You will need to apply your analytical skills to find the correct answers. It will not be available easily. Therefore, most of the students do make mistakes in such type of questions. Now you should practice such questions more and more. This is the only way to improve your accuracy. There are no shortcuts everywhere. Now we will try to cover these questions in details in a dedicated video. As of now, let's proceed to see the next type of question. The next type of question is called matching information. This type of question is usually called true, false and not given. However, the basic concept of this question is to match information from the passage. Now you can say that it is similar to the previous yes, no and not given, to which I would agree a little, but it is not completely the same. In yes, no and not given, you try to match summary. On the other hand, in true, false and not given, you try to match information. This type of questions are easy as compared to yes, no and not given because you just need to seek information from the passage which is directly available. The way to answer such questions is also similar. If the information is available, then the answer is true. If not, then no. And if no information is available, then the answer is not given. You can pause the video to look at the sample. As of now, we will proceed to see the next of the questions asked in the reading exam. Matching the headings. I hope it is clear from the name of the question itself that what you need to do. Take a look at the sample question and you will clearly understand that what are the questions it is and how you should answer it. There are a number of headings and you have to assign each heading to a specific paragraph from the passage. Now this type of question is moderately complex. I would not call it extremely hard. However, it depends on the passage as well. As I said earlier, the last passage is the toughest, and if this type of questions appear in the last passage, then don't expect them to be very easy. We will discuss more about how to answer such questions accurately in the study video. As of now, pause the video and look at the question. Now we will proceed to see the next type of question. So far we have looked 5 different types of questions that are asked in the reading exam. Now let's look one more type of the question, and that is sentence completion. As the name suggests, you have to complete the sentence with the help of information provided in the passage. This type of question is easy to answer because you will be asked to look only specific keywords from the passage, and most of the time the answers are directly available. You don't need to apply too much of analytical skills. Therefore, this type of question gives you easy marks, and hence you should not make mistakes in such a questions. Now pause the video and look at the sample for a better idea. Let's see the next type of question. Now in the reading exam, you can also expect a table, flowcharts, diagrams and much more. From the sample, you can see that you have to fill in the blanks in the table in the flowchart from the information provided in the passage. Such type of questions are really easy and they provide you easy marks. Don't skip such questions and try to answer them accurately. This type of questions help you increase your reading score. These questions don't really take much time to answer because you can skim the passage and look for the answer. However, again I should remind you that read the instructions properly before answering such questions. Now let's look at the next type of question. So here we are to discuss the last most common type of the question asked in the exam, and that is answering short questions. In this type of questions, you will be asked to answer a question in few words. Read the passage carefully and you will be able to answer these types of questions. These questions are moderately difficult and sometimes they waste time because it is hard to find a specific word that you are looking for in the entire passage. Therefore, these questions are sometimes used to waste your time in the exam. Thus, you should be fast when you are searching for the answer. Pause the video and check the sample. Try to read the instructions before answering the question. Now, this was not the complete list of all the types of the question that you can expect in the IELTS exam. However, these are the most common one. But you should be prepared to see something creative. My goal was to make you familiar with the most common types. Now let's look at the scoring criteria for the reading exam. As we already know that you will have 40 questions of 1 mark each in the exam. Now this scale gives you an idea about the score that you will get based on the total number of the correct answers in the exam. You can see that to get 7 bands you need at least 34 correct answers. That means 1 incorrect answer per passage is allowed. And to get 9 bands you should have all 40 correct answers. You cannot make any mistakes. On the contrary, you can make one mistake in the academic exam. That's the only difference. Lastly, the most important thing to remember is that there are no negative markings in the exam. Therefore, if you are not able to find any answer from the passage, then try to make a guess. You should never leave any blank answers in the reading exam. I hope you are understanding the scoring criteria for the exam and prepare as per your requirement of the score. Now let's look at some key points you should remember while you give the reading exam. The first and the most important point to remember is checking your spellings in the answer sheet. Remember that even though your answer is correct but spelling is incorrect, you will be marked incorrect and you will not get any points for that. The second point is the difference between singular and plural is very significant in IELTS. So if the correct answer is singular but you wrote plural, you will not get points for that, and vice versa. The third point to remember is punctuation marks. However, it is really easy to solve these type of errors of punctuation by writing all the answers in the uppercase or capital letters. Now you should never leave any answer blank if you were not able to find the answers from the passage. But please use some common sense before answering. Try to make a guess. That's all. Now there is no extra time to transfer your answers to the answer sheet, hence you need to be fast in the typing and writing answers. If you are giving computer-based exam, then do some typing practice as well. For those who wish to get 8 bands in the reading exam, remember that you can make only 3 to 4 mistakes. So just work hard, and getting 8 bands is not impossible. Yes, it is hard but not impossible. Lastly, there are a total of 5 passages in this exam, hence you need to be really fast to complete the entire reading exam in the general module. Now this brings us to the end of the general reading module. I hope you have found this lecture or video informative. In the next video, we will learn about the different types of the questions in detail and how to solve them. If you like this video, then please like and subscribe our YouTube channel and support us to bring you quality content and tips. If you have any questions, then you can ask them in the forum. The link is available in the description. See you in the next video. Take care.